At you, he's gonna be so mad.
And now I'm gonna be mad at you. So yeah, last episode we were talking about Ryan playing Neuros wanting to interrogate certain religious athemas from our champion and our cleric.
Athemas. Sorry, it's an anathema. It's one of those fun English words.
The no commandments from your faith.
Pretty much.
You know, interrogation good.
Don't do this.
Diplomacy better. Torture bad. Okay. So do you want to volunteer yourself for said interrogation, or are you just putting on the table that hey, we should interrogate somebody, and if you guys don't trust me,
no,
you want it to be you?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
I think I'm the best suited for it.
All right, let's do some logos. Get right into this solo because you're going into a room alone.
Excellent. It's a commutative storytelling environment, and we trust the adjudication to one individual.
Yeah.
Period.
Otherwise, it'll just go round and round. Now, I do have a soft hand behind the screen. I do like using the rules lawyer aspect because as a podcast, I don't want to stop everything. Yeah. Well, I don't want to stop the narrative just to look up rules. If we're discussing rules, and like I said, you guys can bring them up and look them up just as easy as I can, as long as I am the one, making last education. I do like hearing everyone's opinion. I do like hearing their version of how they interpret it. But you gotta let the guy behind the chair, absorb all that, hear final arguments, prosecution, defense, and go into it. So, with the guys running away for a P and a T, as it were, and not everyone in the room, Ryan. They separate. There are three thugs. One just as likely or unlikely as another to talk, right?
Yeah.
There's the proverbial little, right? This is a classroom. Okay. Peek in. Three dudes. They're chained to desks, and it's like, all right.
I asked for a few items. There are a few items I request.
Okay.
One, I wish a room prepped with a table, 2 chairs, either side.
Okay.
I want a bottle with the strongest fort that they have.
Okay.
I want 2 glasses.
Yes.
And I want
a little tube of powder that's tasteless, odorless, and...
No, I already have that. Don't worry about that.
He's got his own iocane powder.
Iocane! Oh, that's what we were talking about, Mo.
Al, do you want to slip up some actual... Now that I've tested for poison, here's my own. Put this in the...
Yeah, I was actually just looking up to see if I could find any chemical things that I can do, but no.
I think that would be crossing a line in risk, even though, of course, I was going to give him the antidote. That much risk.
I was looking for a truth serum.
Oh
no! So I want the strong. So the only things I wish and require, I want a room, 1 table, 2 chairs, the strongest fort of the biggest bottle. I don't want this bottle to run out of the strongest fort that they have. And I want, that's it, 1 door in, 1 door out.
Okay. All right. So
and preferably, they select one individual to put in there, not I.
Yeah, you're waiting in this room.
Or they put him in and I come in.
Okay.
One or other.
Okay.
Wait.
At this point, we do seem to have a little bit of time. If you want to put a guy and leave him alone and let him sweat it out for a while and all that kind of thing, right? Separate them all.
There's these things, they're called sunshades. They're
smoke goggles. The smoke
Can I get
goggles.
some smoke? I want some smoke goggles. No, wait. I need smoke goggles. Gnome-sized smoke goggles.
I don't know about gnome size. I mean, they might be kind of big on you and make you look a little bit like a very like
I
John
need
Lennon.
smoke goggles. You want me to do this work for you?
They've got them. All right. Here.
One thing
may not have them in your size.
All right. I wear them.
All right. Intimidation roll against your allies, the staff and faculty. Yeah, give me smoke goggles, damn you. Okay.
I had one job. Yeah.
Your choices are deception and lie with a deception check, intimidate to coerce, maybe even a diplomacy check to try to get their cooperation about something. You know, it's kind of it's the plea bargain. You know, we won't give you the life sentence, or we won't kill you. You won't get the chair if you got to give us something. You'll plea bargain. So that's on the table. That kind of thing is diplomacy check, intimidation.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah. I will say that the diplomacy check is a little higher DC than the deception or the intimidation, but not by much.
Right.
Okay. I won't tell you these numbers because you don't know your targets very well. But I will say that trying to using diplomacy check to like cut them a plea bargain or some crap is a little higher than intimidating. And because you've separated them, you guys will not suffer the -2. Okay, so sometime later,
what
10 minutes an hour
of them actually having a truth potion?
No, this is on you.
My skill as an alchemist.
No, it's on this whole idea is on player resources. You know, smoke goggles we can come up with, but you know, the solution to the problem handed over by an NPC at cost or no, sorry, not gonna. On principle of the game, I can't do that.
However, saving throw.
So
all right, so picture the scene.
Thank you.
A small storage room. Nothing dangerous here, but like maybe papers or that type of thing, shelves or whatever.
One beam of sunlight coming in.
Yep, a single desk that's been pulled out and a second chair added. A stained glass barred heavily window with light filtering in, just showing dust, and a single door on the side. Enter Ryan's character, who has done what? Changed your appearance? Just added the smoke goggles? What are we looking at here when you walk in?
Literally just added the smoke goggles. I throw on a what would be passed for like a suit jacket for gnomes, but other than that, I'm wearing my normal garb. But it's literally like I'm wearing my gi, but I have a jacket over top of it and smoke goggles on. I use that for dramatic entrance.
We haven't really got we joked about you being shirtless and the triangle green hair chest now being on your head or whatever, but when we left you as a dwarf, you were like ghillie suit, practically.
Yeah.
As a gnome, you talk about a gi like the monk gi, like flowing robed, loose Jedi robe kind of thing for kung fu, right? You gotta be able
I think like loose khaki. So what I wear now, loose white khakis.
Okay.
Pants.
Okay.
Green chest hair and green troll hair.
Okay. And you're topless? You're shirtless?
Yeah. Well, no, not now. I have a sports jacket on.
Oh, okay. Because I could say, the way you have the karate gi or whatever, there's such a deep V that you'd still get the chest hair effect if you wanted it.
Yeah. No, sports jacket. Okay. So it's sports jacket, smoke goggles.
Okay. I always picture you in the Cobra Kai gi, the ripped arms.
Oh yeah.
Some big motif on the back, but instead of a snake, it's like a snake trying to chug a big pint or something.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's cool.
A snake trying to like a constrictor snake trying to swallow a keg. It's halfway to like a giant mouse, that's his dojo,
Yeah. Oh, my parents would be so proud.
I got to remember to put the next set of artwork I put out to Seacrest. The symbol on it'll be like the back of you doing a pose and on the back.
For this instance, nothing's canon for what you and I are discussing right now.
Okay.
I like where you're going, but for right now it's just gi pants, sports jacket, smoke goggles.
In a school full of half elven wealthy but not aristocratic girls. Dude, you get made over with giggles and the whole bit. They whatever you want, man.
Equate that one there.
Oh yeah, they curl they wax your eyebrows and curl them perfectly. Like you don't know how, you haven't lived, you weren't raised as a gnome. The eyebrow wax, the way the hair is, like you just look like a disheveled dude, right? They clean you up.
Yeah.
They make you look proper. Trim the beard, the goatee, the whatever you want, the eyebrow hair, the chest type of thing, perfect. Do little layers of light tan colors, more tan and khaki than straight white that you can never keep clean anyway.
Is as pointed as the eyebrows.
There you go. Clean up the hair. Put the smoke goggles on you, and keep using. They keep using this elvish word. They keep giggling, calling you koi, 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 koi. That's enemy for cute. And shove you in the room.
Nah. Okay, walk in the room. You ever had one of those days? I take off my jacket, shirtless, hairy, green, bulging muscles. Just toss it on the chair. You know what I mean? Those days. Take the smoke goggles off, just toss them on the table.
Okay. The man chained to the desk has a black velvet bag on his head. Nice touch added by the... So right now, all he can do is hear you. But it makes his worry and what he hears that much more intense.
Yeah, I tell ya. Sonny, you ever wake up one day being a dwarf, die, wake up next day, find yourself talking to deities, die yet again. That's the fucking twist there they don't tell you about. And then you wake yourself up and find yourself being a gnome, talking in an octave 3 times about what your mom's pa spent tooting you. Walk over to him. You know what I'm talking about?
The bag, you kind of get that. You can see the face structure under it. Just turns your way, and he goes, "What?
Who put this bullshit? Who did this bull? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm ripping off. I am terribly sorry about the hospitality you've been receiving here. This is totally not dwarven culture. I apologize about this in every way, shape, and form. My clan will not treat you like this. I swear you that there. You find yourself in the Five Kingdoms there, you tell them Muros Anvil Bender sent you. You'll be treated with the true hospitality. I guarantee you that much.
You're looking at a somewhat grimy, but no, it's his tanned, reddish complexion. Almost foreign. Human. Early 30s, early to mid 30s. Muscled. Scarred. But definitely has a general uncouth, not sure of the education about him.
What's your name there, you scamp?
He squints at you, obviously calculating the thought of giving a real name, a fake one. Right? So it's like,
I don't cast wizardly spells there, just so you know. I go to the old school of hard discipline as I tap my pecs.
They call me Bub.
Hey, Bub. I'm Myrtles. I see you get your hands there tied behind you. Let's remedy that, shall we? And I undo his manacles.
Okay. His eyes nervously dart around the room. Okay. He seems surprised that you uncuff him, but he doesn't get up, doesn't make a move, and he just slowly brings his arms around and puts them flat on the table, watching you, and then covers his fingers, slide up, and sort of just tenderly rub his wrists a little bit. But he's moving distinctly slow, and just kind of watching you suspiciously. What kind of approach are we going for overall here? Deception, intimidation, or diplomacy?
Friend.
You gonna go for diplomacy?
Friend? No, fuck that shit. I ain't rolling against him yet. We're just talking. I don't want nothing out of you. But just so you know, I want nothing from you.
Okay. He seems confused.
I want nothing from you. Okay? I want you that clear in your conscience here now.
Doubtful.
Well, you've never talked to someone who's talked to deities, now have you?
Can't say I go much into religion, but everybody
Neither do
wants
I.
something.
Exactly. See, the differences between the people who believe in deities and people who follow deities is that they wish and desire to fulfill their needs. I, on the other hand, seek to emulate them, the deities, that is. I believe we can be better than what we are.
He's, as you're walking around him and talking to him, you notice recent bruises. You know, like he's recently taken a beating.
Mm.
Now, they did say that, you know, it was practice time and they beat him up with practice swords, right? And it does, the marks and welts on him look like he was poked with a stick as opposed to like they just held him down and, you know, went to town. Because, put pugilist, you know what I mean? So the marks on his body do currently add up to the story you've been told by the elves.
Yeah. Bob, can you do me a favor?
What?
You see that big tall bottle over there? And those 2 cups?
Yeah.
Can you make sure those cups don't be empty at any point in time during our conversation?
That's easy. Don't fill them up.
Thank you. Hey, Bob. You're right. You know what? You're right.
He looks at the 2 empty cups and the bottle across on the other table. And he looks at you.
Yeah?
Sure.
Hey, good. And one of those cups is yours. So if you're thirsty, you drink. Sounds simple enough for you? You seem like a smart lad.
He shifts nervously in his chair, body language telling you that he's anticipating something.
Bob, if you don't like that chair, you can sit in my chair over there. Although it's designed for someone of my stature, unfortunately, so...
he settles his hands on his lap below table level, and he just, I'm fine.
My eye level?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry, Bob. Could you mind passing me my drink when you're done filling her? I don't know what they put in the bottle. I'm trusting it's good stuff.
Get yourself.
Ah, much obliged. Appreciate the honesty. Walk over. Pull it off the table. Take a stop fast.
Okay. You drink from the bottle, you drink from the cup?
I drink from the cup. I ain't an uncouth civilist individual.
Okay.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. You try yours, or you want me to try for you? Just make sure that there's nothing in the cup. You want my cup instead? We can switch.
I'm good. I'm not thirsty, thanks.
You look thirsty.
He shrugs.
So, Bub, you found yourself in this scenario because you trusted somebody, didn't ya?
Orders is orders.
Why are you following someone else's orders?
He just smiles. Better than going it alone.
What are you talking about not going it alone? You got 2 ears, don't ya?
Aye.
You got 2 eyes, don't ya?
He nods.
You got a nose. You can smell things, right? You can tell if the meat's rancid or good.
Shrugs.
Right? And you got a mouth for the eating.
Another nod.
Right? And you got 2 hands, right? Wiggle them fingers. Give me a high five.
Ass.
High five.
He says, and he it's almost like he does the butt cheek 1-inch scooch to the left away from you, like this kind of like no.
That's right. I high five myself. Pass. Gotcha. Too slow. You got hands that can pick things up and put them to your mouth. You got a nose that can tell things are rancid. You got ears that can hear things and won't try to eat you. You got eyes that see things in front of you. What are you doing listening to somebody else who's giving you sour advice? You can pick out rancid meat. Why can't you pick out rancid advice? Oh, by the way, my cup's empty. You might fill in it, please.
He just snorts, looks at the window away from you.
It's okay. I take time. No rush. I waited in line for Pharasma. I can wait much longer for you.
Okay. Some time goes by. You know, you continue the soft sell that I think you're trying to go with here.
Yeah.
At any point, are you looking to possibly flip the script and actually get into an interrogation or lead him into some kind of deception? Or are you actually, like you said, you're saying friends and you're painting him the picture and winding up for diplomacy?
This individual was not led down the right path. He was given rotten meat, told it was ripe, and then he thought it was. No one taught him how to smell rancid advice.
Okay.
My job is to correct that at this point in time.
All right. So
I taught goblins how to be good masons. I can teach a human how to be a good individual.
Sure. So fading through the door, what are the rest of you guys doing while Neros is working this guy over and just enjoying the tea party and waiting for him to do his magic?
Yeah, refocusing.
Okay.
Looking for security.
All right. So in the tower, Ryan, I will take that inevitable diplomacy, intimidation, or deception check, if you please. And we can assume that, like I said, you just keep going with them. And
yeah, it's an intimidation of choosing the wrong path.
Yeah, if you need some glimpse of redemption now.
Okay. So it goes from friendly to passive aggressive to a little bit hardline.
If you eat rotten meat, you're going to throw up. That's not me threatening you. That's your actions being bad.
Okay. He doesn't seem to be able to be coerced so easily. You were kind enough
to hero point?
I was going to say, you were kind enough to frame your way of thinking. Even though he's Bob the Thug, like a group like the Triad, they educate him harshly on interrogation, magic, tricks, all kinds of things. So he's not very trusting, you know. No, unfortunately, this guy just proves by the end of it to be a tough nut to crack.
That's fine. I have nothing but time. Time and death are an illusion.
Okay. How long are you guys going to give him? In this specific encounter, in this specific environment, right? He's done the rule requirement. Now leaving Neuros in this room will not get different results unless you guys really switch something up. Different person, different guy, like, you know what I mean? He's doing a great job, but unfortunately the dice betray him and he just isn't able to crack this guy.
Let him hang out with his new friend for an hour or so.
Yeah,
and then
that's been done.
I will interrupt their hangout sesh.
Okay.
And tell him that Glug Glug... I heard Glug Glug say something about...
Okay. I will give Ryan a hero point for the whole thing. He stood against the party's decision, talked you guys into what he wanted, went and did it, and did a good job role-playing it. Unfortunately, like I said, they set a DC at a certain height. He got close. Hero point, not enough. It's not on the player.
No unfortunate regrets here.
Yeah, but I would like to give you a hero point for that, Ryan. That was an excellent job, and we managed to give you a nice 20-minute spotlight. But if you guys want to continue on this interrogation path, you need to change something major to change the encounter, or you guys could just go on with it.
We're going to. So I'm going to come in, put my hand on his shoulder, whisper into his ear that Glug Glug has an arm that's begging to be wrestled.
Oh, he didn't say it was stronger, did he? Oh,
and that I was
tosser of a son.
Spend some time having a drink with our new friend. You go
on. You!
Okay.
He's not a thirsty sorts there, but, you know. Hey, Bub. That's his name. Bub. Hey, Bub. It's been a joy, eh? When you get out of here and you get yourself sorted right, you'll find me at the Five Kingdoms, won't ya?
Sure.
Hey, remember, what's the name? Albrecht. And...
He smiles. Maybe you better write it down for me.
Don't worry, we'll write it down for you in common.
One
right.
small tear runs down Miros's cheek because he was hoping he had found a new friend.
I know.
I did. But I got Glug Glug,
so-
don't worry.
so
Hey,
close.
Glug Glug, guess what I found out? Your arm's weaker than it was 5 seconds ago. And I run out of the door.
Yeah, we're when we get to like 17th, 20th level and the campaign ends, we're gonna do that, you know. And he went on to, and Neuros goes on to his own dojo / TED Talk school. Like he just does his own. Starts working for the king as like NSA, you know, he's interrogating people.
Nope, can't work for a king. That's a 100% fallacy right there.
Okay.
So yeah, watch him go. Close
Yeah,
the door
yeah.
behind him.
Moros has left the building.
All right.
Wherever Glug Glug, make an initiation, make an initiative roll.
I go around
yeah.
behind him,
Oh yeah.
grab his shackles, put them back on.
Hey, we don't get a lot of we don't get a lot of boys here. Like the girls are, you know how they have the TV shows there's one, it's called Dairy Girls or what, like you got these Catholic schoolgirl outfitted little tuffians. They're wealthy, you know, but they're street smart. So they're laying bets, you know, they're working over Glug Glug and all this stuff, getting on his good side and, you know, doing a little flirt thing, make it let his guard down and all this stuff. Measuring his biceps.
Glug Glug, make a perception check.
Yeah.
Versus my stealth.
You're getting played, right? They've got Niles playing pool, and they're card sharking you guys and all this stuff. Get you on your money. Anyway, Al, you're up. In you go. Close the door. Intimidation didn't work. Did you want to try again or try a different angle? Different angle would probably, because I would probably have to give it a penalty if you try to do the same thing twice.
Oh yeah. So go in, put the shackles back on him.
Okay.
Pick up the bottle and the glasses, take them off
Yeah.
the table.
Okay.
Smell the bottle. What was he drinking?
Elvish Feywind. It's sweet. It's thick, you know, but it's got punch.
Yep.
Yeah, there's the reason why I ran out of the room.
So set that bottle off.
How
to
much
the
of the
side.
how much of the bottle did you drink?
You tell me. How long did it get?
Yeah, an hour.
Probably about 70%.
70% of a bottom of Elvish Feywind.
How much did he drink?
None.
None?
Unless
The
you forced it
entire
in him. No, you wouldn't touch it. No.
No, did not force him. 7% then.
No. Okay. I need a fortitude save from you, dude.
All right, that's fair.
That is
Shit-faced.
Elven Feywind. Feywind is the heaviest stuff. And
In the
fake
tower or what?
No, out in the open. I'll let you know.
All right. Bam! Look at that. Natural 20.
20.
Nice. This is good
30
stuff. I mean,
good shit.
you can smell sound, but this is good stuff. You know, you can see because you're a
I can
sensitive
smell
gnome.
colors. Now I smell sound.
Yeah. So because you're a gnome now, and it's Fey wine, and you rolled 20, okay, your body is processing this, but the experience is wild, dude.
Phenomenal.
Yay!
Yeah.
It's like a
Glug, glug,
really
we
good
need to
buzz.
wrestle now.
You hate to say it, man, but you're getting better, happier buzz off of Fey wine in the gnome body than you were like trying to drink the dwarven spirits in your current body. It just wasn't the same.
I'm half
You know what I
druid, so my body is really like a mobile vessel.
Sure, but currently its cell structure is gnome. So now if you want to shapeshift and see what happens, do I feel better or worse as a frog?
Now I'm a
Yeah.
dragonfly. Now I'm a giant frog.
I throw up, yeah. All right. Anyway, Al.
Now I vomit
So
rainbows.
I'm going to open up by casting subconscious suggestion on this guy.
Okay, so you cast a
I
spell
need
right in front of him,
A will save, DC
Okay.
28.
but you cast a spell right in front of him, blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah, I walk in,
Okay.
take the stuff, smell the bottle, set it down,
Okay.
cast the spell.
Can you read the spell to me?
You implant a subconscious suggestion deep within the target's mind for them to follow when the trigger you specify occurs. You suggest a course of action to the target. Your be phrased in such a way that as to seem like a logical course of action to the target, and it can't be self-destructive or obviously against a target's self-interest. The target must attempt a will save.
Okay, what is the suggestion? Because
To
against
believe
self-interest
me when
and logical to me might be that's the key thing where a lot of that could be turned over. You may not, you got to be really careful how you word it. What would a slaver
The subconscious
consider?
suggestion is to believe me when I threaten him.
Okay. That you'll follow through. That's cool. I like that. You're just buffing. Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
So DC 28 will. If he fails, it remains in the target's subconscious. If the trigger occurs before then. Critical failure. Okay, so he will be under the effects of the subconscious suggestion for a minute if he fails, or if he critically fails, he's under the suggestion for an hour. If he succeeds, he's unaffected, and if he critically succeeds, the target is unaffected and knows I tried to control it. So as far as seeing, no, he wouldn't be able to tell. He might be able to tell. I shouldn't say that.
Is it how many actions?
So it is 2 actions.
Okay, so it's implied it's verbal and somatic?
No, it is not. It is mental subtle.
Okay. All right.
Well,
I
concentrating,
will
incapacitation, linguistic, manipulate, mental, subtle.
Yeah, so the spell is set up for you to do it. I wouldn't say nose to nose, but in front of a target. With minor distraction necessarily. Like even if while you're pouring yourself a glass and the mumble chant and then turn around, you know what I mean? As opposed to like look me in the eye as my watch clears.
Yeah, no.
You will believe the shit I'm going to shovel at you. You will believe it. And I snap my fingers. You will poop. You know, like, yeah, I get it. Different. Okay. They haven't. I guess, well, I don't know if they haven't, but we haven't really looked into the whole deceptive spell casting. There used to be feats in old editions, that type of thing. So I'm curious. Not that I'm not going to let you do this, but it does raise the question in the future. Hey, players that aren't engaged at the moment, if anyone wants to dig into Archives of Nethys about deceptive spell casting, what the feats are, because those feats usually do an outline of what they give you, and that means the default isn't what's in the outline, and that's what we can fall back on, right? The spell, like I said, sounds like it's subtle as shit, so we'll just go for it, you know. But it does raise the question of like, this is a whole thing, subtle spell casting. You know, did they get rid of it? Is it just certain spells are? I mean, that would be very helpful, really, if you think about it. Anyway, okay. And then moving on to the threat. To the threat. Okay, and he will or will not believe you, or, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, and then, you know, clear the table off, sit down. Right then. You'll have to forgive my cousin Muros. He's got a soft spot. He thinks that everyone can be redeemed. I'm a little bit more in line with the mistress of the house here. Who, by the way, very much would like to dispose of you in a very quiet fashion. So, you've got a brief amount of time with me to tell me what I want to know. Or else, I'm going to turn you over to her, and you and your 3 friends will disappear. So, are you gonna talk? And I drop Intimidation out there that I missed the tower with, but it was a nat 20, so fiercely intimidating.
Okay.
With the subconscious suggestion. As a little bit of extra ply for the oils of truth.
All right.
So spill it, laddie.
Intimidation is supposed to be in the tower, by the way.
I know. Well, my tower is... I moved the tower over top of the chat window, and I just
That's
missed.
okay. That's a nat 20, and since Ryan, unfortunately, the dice betrayed him, I'll let you keep this, right? Dude failed your spell by 1. They're like, while you're talking, I'm nodding. They're like, combat's unlikely, but if you need stats, use the thugs on page 16. I'm nodding at you and scrolling, going, where's his willpower? Where's his willpower? You know, these guys have like plus 15 willpower. I'm like, shit, that's not bad. Dude rolls a 12. That's like 27. Like,
Not bad.
spell goes off. The DC to now it's a done deal. The DC to intimidate.
Spill.
Yeah, it's 25.
Oh,
And diplomacy was 27. Now that we're beyond the fact, okay?
that's a crit success on my intimidation.
That is
on top of being a crit.
interrogation.
You should get a bonus, like double crit.
What? No.
Intimidation
It's
with
real-
cleave. Sorry.
Your spell is a expendable party resource that can cancel any role playing. Like, you know what I
it
mean?
was
Like whatever groundwork that Neros laid and failed, or the room, or they haven't killed me yet, they're not going to kill me. Like whatever the scene had prepped him for, and you being that one piece of stimulus, what the spell does, blank slate, gray field, there's just Al, and you got to take him seriously. And that's what the spell does. It levels the playing field. No bonus, but trust me, it removes all other stimulus.
Yeah.
My bad day, embarrassment by getting beating up by, yes, they're over 18 half-elves, blah, 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 blah. All that I'm working into Bob the Thug's mind, but of course he's no mathlete. And then you're picking up the role play after everything that's happened to him today. That spell, brilliant idea, sets everything to 0. But don't be cheeky and ask for a bonus. I'm sorry. It's not going to.
That's fine. Well, I don't. Even
Legit
so,
my process.
crit success.
That's right.
Great success.
Okay. So he tells you about their current base of operations is a tower. A rundown, forgotten, practically abandoned, everyone, it's their Tansen Tower.
Tansen Tower.
Yep. Funny enough, now I didn't do this on purpose, but funny enough, if you had let these guys go and follow them to it, they take a roundabout route and they split up so that they're not followed. But the fact that she has checkpoint spies everywhere and you guys can use skills to critically success, crit success, follow without being detected, success, halfway there, but a thug suspects that he might be being followed. You guys have to duck out with a 30 DC stealth check. Failure, they notice you. Critical failure, you guys not only notices you, they manage to get a warning to the tower. Like, how cool is that for 4 stage, right?
Yeah,
Anyway,
that is neat, yeah.
I think that because of Ryan's suggestion, right, we don't have those skills unless we got a crit success.
Remember
on
the-
tail.
That's what I was. That's kind of what I
Yeah.
was thinking. I was just like, you know what? He's right. We have no tracking. Our investigator isn't here. I don't know off the top of my head what's.
I really like the way that that decision came about, because the players are going, it's cool, let's do the follow thing. You got 2 clerical types that don't want to torture somebody, so it's neat how that all plays out. Shouldn't kudos tap anyone in the head or berate anyone too severely. I just find this way. Yes, no, I get enough of those today. All right. He tells you about Tansen Tower. He tells you that that's their base, and it's full of them. There are agents coming and going all the time. So he can't give you numbers that's currently there, but there's like 6 or 7 levels.
Count that high, anyways.
I can. I went to Katapesh School of Merchant Counting. Thank you very much. DM slip. Hopefully you're paying attention. All right. Yeah. So next location, the Tansen Tower at Alabaster Academy.
I'm
Is
curious.
the Scarlet
what was
Trials
Glug's,
look like? Oh, right. Now back to important things. Glug, you're going to arm wrestle these half-elven girls or what?
No. I wanted a perception check versus my stealth, because Muros is coming out of like the sideline.
Yeah, but you were screaming when you were running into the room.
Oh
Billy.
yeah. Actually,
I mean,
yeah.
so-
That's
Dwarven stealth.
dwarven stealth.
Yeah, I
100%.
totally perceived that.
I like that dwarven stealth. So just like Frank, you kick the door open, and then after you
Out
take
of
in the
their
room with a perception
screaming
check,
the entire time.
then he ducks down and goes to the left, and always wonders why half the time it works.
Yeah.
You know, this is how the goblin does it.
Dwarven stealth is that thing where you walk up to somebody and you tap their far shoulder and then go to the other side.
Yeah,
Fair.
deception. That's deception. Dwarves don't have stealth. All right, so guys, where is Alabaster Academy? Why, it's not far. It's so nice of them to put everything so close by. We're like
School versus school.
I know this, but everything's like back across the park, 3 blocks this way. Like, you guys went from the north wall, getting all the way up here was something.
Wait. We're in summer holidays. School out for summer. School out for.
So
Oh,
we
my
head
God.
we head over to the
We just had
academy.
a huge thunder strike and massive thunder just shook my whole house.
Ka-chow.
There's that.
'cause-
Do we do 2 things at once, or do we do them sequentially? Because we did want to let one of them free and follow them, but we did just get a lead to go to Alabaster Academy, which seems like we should do, or at least.
Well,
scope it.
the Lady
We're go-
Lady Dorca's idea was we need to know where their hideout is, and we were going to
Yeah.
follow them, and hopefully they go back there. We
Yeah, we don't have
successfully
to-
interrogated
we
a
don't
guy
have to-
going,
yeah.
yeah.
We don't have
Successfully,
to
he's
do
like,
that
I'll
now.
talk. I'll talk.
We can turn them over to the guards.
Don't
if we
don't bring
want.
that gnome back in here. Just talking
but-
and talking. He wants to be friends. I can't process my emotions. I was never mentally trained to process emotions. And he's all so touchy feely. He's such a cute frog. I just can't stand it.
And yeah, but can we crash here for the night? Have a little break, get rested and ready before we invade the tower?
Yeah. I mean,
Sick.
from
Pillow
their
fight.
from their point of view, an 80s montage. You guys are all like, all the half elven girls are in their jammies and shit. And he's, na-na-na-na.
No,
And you get the crap beat out of you.
Hadouken! Shoriel Tugen!
These girls are well-trained combatants. You guys get your butts handed to you.
Not me!
Glug Glug just stands stoically through the whole pillow fight, just sort of watching and looking around.
Okay, there's no pillow fight. We were kidding. Don't worry, Glug Glug. I
Yeah,
would not
yeah.
do that to you.
No, totally was
no
pillow
avian creatures were harmed during
No,
this
but
pillow
if we've
fight,
got a
yeah.
place we can stay overnight,
Okay, but-
and
Are you sure you want to do that?
Do you want to wait all overnight, or do you want to just take an hour? and go?
take
Like,
4 hours.
there-
To get our,
Their move was to invade two places, right? One, they got away, laid a trap. Those guys aren't coming back. 2, the girl is still you know what I mean? Like, all their agents they sent out didn't come back, except for the Longhouse Coffee House going, okay, well, you know, the guys we left as a trap didn't come back, but we successfully raided that place. Oh, the school for girls is still open tomorrow and never, you know what I mean? Like, tomorrow they're going to figure something's up and how they react to that. So all I'm saying is, what's better for you? The element of surprise or a full chamber of bullets because you guys are low on spells and blah, blah, blah.
Or a pillow fight. Austin Powers has his answer ready.
Tactically speaking.
Pillow
I mean,
fight.
I'm about half blasted, but I have none of my highest level stuff. But that's not
Hey,
a huge deal because I
If
don't
you
often
guys
use them.
walk into a dungeon and get killed, I don't want to be blamed. I'm just saying there's the element of surprise.
You chose
So
dungeon and death, or you chose pillow fight.
Well,
Just saying.
you walk into
Well,
a,
we could still let the other two go.
So
Or
one of the things they could
but what-
reinforce, and it could be more difficult if they have an idea who we are. If we wait till tomorrow,
if you let them go tonight or
But I don't
tomorrow,
know.
you let them go tonight, they're going to go there and warn them. We got caught, right? And
Yeah.
they'll change, right? I mean, it's kind of the old picture of like, do you want to walk up to the guardhouse and find two guards sitting down, their weapons at their sides, playing cards, or do you want to find them tables flipped, crouch, aimed at the door, waiting? Still two guards. Maybe they had a third. Maybe they had a chimera. Like, I'm not saying the place is going to be on high alert, but there's some success and failure in their task of doing the raid. And when that information comes back to the triad, they're going to go, this was successful. This wasn't successful. What do we do, boss? And the guy that smells like rancid meat and gives Neuros bad advice tells his minions what to do. Find those rackets, with that foreknowledge, what's worth it? Is that worth half a spell book? Is that worth half your hit points? I don't know. You guys tell me.
Well, I think hit point wise we're okay, right? Everybody's at close to top.
I will say that you guys had an hour, whole hour sitting there doing nothing while Neuros was on his own. If you guys want to do some healing, some medicine, right?
Everybody should be. I should be able to heal everybody up and get all my focus points back if we're here for an hour. So during that hour, I'd have been able to walk around and give people a lay on hands and get the rest of my focus points back. So,
okay,
you can everybody should just assume that they are.
Okay.
And how about our stalwart cleric? How's your spell book doing? Or your repertoire?
It's a little low, but
all right.
Hey,
it's your call, right?
Yeah, we'll continue forward.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Because
I'm not swinging an empty empty spell book around. I have options, but
yeah.
So Vicar, you're voting go now. Take him by surprise.
Yeah, go now because
momentum,
and we don't plan very well. So we don't.
I mean, the school was saved. There could be pillow fights in the future. I don't know. Just saying.
Yeah, you can always come back for the pillow fights.
Yeah, because I do remember the last time that we planned something that lasted. Like it took in game like 2 hours to do, but it took us like 2 seconds to fuck it up. So
yeah, well, I like the idea. Like you have all these prim and proper girls that are good with swords, and like an hour with you guys, they're already trying to lean towards corruption. You guys stay overnight. The next day, they're going to be total like. They're not going to be prim and proper half-elven girls. Yeah. They're going to be alcoholic,
Citadel all-terrain,
Xeno warrior orc
school for wayward girls.
Plugs, curls, warrior. Yeah. All right. So, yeah. With full hit points all around and Karam in tow. Okay. I will place Karam with you at the proverbial 30, 60 feet. He says, I will tail you and make sure we're not being followed because this is too easy. He thinks this is way too easy. You know what I mean? When you guys get in there, start messing stuff up. Next episode, Andrew will be back and he'll come running in to help. But for the rest of this episode, he is proverbially catching up and just making sure we're not being tailed. Right? He also wants to hang back and undo some of the political damage that we may or may not have done to this nice school of girls. So, off we go to the academy.
And turn the prisoners over to the authorities. I'm sure that's why he's staying behind.
Yeah, is that what you guys want to do? We're not going to let them go,
that's
right?
What we want to do, but we don't want them turned over to the authorities until we're done.
After we're done.
Yeah.
Hang on to them till we get done.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Because there may be leaks out from the authorities too. So to be honest.
Well, they were sent here a couple hours ago. Because she said a few hours we were attacked. So they bagged and tagged these guys, sat on them for a couple hours. You guys showed up 1 more hour. So assuming they had the afternoon to pull off their mission, if they get arrested by this evening and you guys are already inside hitting the tower, yeah, there shouldn't be any leaks. You should be okay. Just tell them to throw them over the cops in the next hour or so after you leave. Yeah, should be fine, right? What could possibly happen? All right.
Alabaster Academy.
Yep. Bub shyly asked Neuros if he'll write him in prison. He wants a pen pal.
Yeah, of course. You read Dwarven, don't you?
Okay, so he wants you to come by the tower and find out where he's held and start some kind of penmanship.
Yeah, I already have
Yeah,
like
just
a
give me your
dic-
your number, and I'll text you, and then you can just store me in when I text you.
Give me your prison ID number. I'll fly a kite for you outside the prison window. Every day we'll chat. All right. So it's time to go to the tower. Yes?
Okay, well, before we go there,
Mhm.
I will do a recall knowledge society. What do I know about the Alabaster Academy?
Okay. Everybody?
Sure.
I also realize that technically with Karam on hand, through the DM, if Karam makes a good roll, Karam could like, the Alabaster Academy, blah, blah, blah. Right?
What's the roll for recall knowledge for that one?
It would be
Society.
society. It'd be
Society?
society.
I'll try. I'm trained, so I'll try.
Yeah. Okay. In the tower. Bum 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 bum. Glug glug. The foreign, naive, jungle-dwelling glug glug.
You know, I read.
Yeah.
right.
While you were at the market and everyone spent all that time shopping and stuff, and you were looking around, right? Somebody was talking about history, saving, purchasing of real estate, sell you the tower. They sell you Everglades, Florida, kind of like a con, right? But you learn quite a bit about the tower that you thought you could purchase for only 40 gold. Turned out to be a false document. Someone, Karam or somebody came over and went, you don't want to spend your money, but you learn, well, you're listening to the pitch, right? So I'm going to give you, okay. So Doug, the basic stuff is yours. The other stuff actually can go to the rest of the party because everyone actually beat the DC. It might be a little bit more. Okay, so go ahead.
So I seem to remember reading once about Cantargo, and that the Alabaster Academy was actually like a foremost institution for learning here, and that like it got people from all over Cheliax to come. But as those things go, the more attention you draw, occasionally you get a little high on your own supply, and one of the professors turned out to be like a murderous sadist or something like that. So that kind of took a little bit of a hit. Founded the Slytherin class. And the Academy worked hard to kind of rebuild the reputation after that, but it's still sort of like coming back to, working its way back to credibility.
Right. I'd planned to visit there. They've got some new laboratory that's being financed. I was hoping maybe I could find some new formula there. Bit of mutagen, a bit of hair on your chest, maybe give you a tail. Who knows?
God, those things.
A tail or a mutagen?
Hair on my chest.
And a tail?
And a tail.
I'll explain why he goes off into the woods every one time to change his armor and doesn't let you guys
Why do you think I picked up armor assist so I could do it really fast?
yeah. Locker room towel fighting, snapping, or Ark's not part of that for some reason. Now we know why.
Anyway, long story short, before I even got a chance to go there, the house that had pledged funding for this new laboratory pulled it. If I recall correctly, that's probably the reason the tower's vacant in the first place.
Anyone else? Karam finishes off by letting you guys know that part of Ravenel's rebellion to progress to full independence, because you guys remember, like, the Cantargo and this North Shore area, before it was Ravenel, the province, or the country by itself, was a part of Cheliax. And in those books, hey, you remember that weird phantom guy we fought? Yeah, he was a tyrant and Thrun, and yeah. Before they managed to progress it to full independence, the Tennyson family's allegiance to House Thrun cost them dearly. And it was that made them have to withdraw their financial support from the project. And today, the entire tower is unused. It's owned, and it's owned by the Academy's administration, but everyone believes it to be vacant. So, like how we have factories around town, it's owned by someone, but it's emptied and gutted and no one goes in there. But the land is owned, the building is owned, the company still owns it, just hasn't sold it off or renovated. It's that kind of squatting situation where it's perfect. Like, everybody knows about it, has a dark history, no one goes near it. And, you know, they've kind of subtly started squatting there, and it is their secret base right in the middle of the northern quarter. Of, like, how cheeky is that? They're not outside, you know, sailing in. Like, they're, you know, they could go to Sunset Imports right here, and a couple blocks away is their base. Like, brilliant if you think about it. So,
shall we, gentlemen?
Okay.
Yes,
I'm
do
in.
this.
Discussing this quietly amongst yourselves, with Karam hanging in the back and then coming up to tell you that end part, making sure that we're not followed. Later in this day, this afternoon, this evening, as it were, those guys will be arrested. So coming up on this place just before sunset, shall we say? Maybe even into the evening. I'll even be so kind as to, like, you know, we had the food filled us up. You got your rations. You guys, you know, had the proverbial. We had a taco before we left. We're fine. You know, on to battle. Once again,
it's a very filling scone.
Yeah, there you go. Have you had some of the old school scones, man? They're hard to get down, tea included. Like, yeah, no joke. Fill you right up. Classic, distinctive, silver streaked stone. There must be a quarry nearby where they're getting this stuff. Tenson's Tower is 8 stories high, with a conical tile roof. That classic tiled conical as in cone.
You'd think it'd be taller.
Stone stairs run along the inside the wall of each level. And the lower 5 stories have been gutted and abandoned. And as you guys approach, the windows belay the stairs. You know how they have those windows that go dut, 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 like all the way up on an angle? That's how you know there's stairwell inside. This knowledge also coming from some basic stuff that you guys know about the tower. We get to close to the entrance. You guys like are across the street.
We probably want to stealth up a little bit.
Yeah. What do you guys want to do? Just stealth your way in?
Find a place
Wait
and
for dark.
scope it
Wait
out.
for dark.
It's got to be close to dark, but we probably want to case the place a little bit. Can I maybe stealth around the back? Maybe see. That looks like a fairly large facility on the map, the big square. Is it really 2 or 3 city blocks, which is what it looks like it is on the map? The perimeter of the property, or is it
okay, so the whole place is the Alabaster Academy.
Right.
And in one corner or in the middle is the actual tower.
Okay.
So there might be some people in and about, but the academy
there
itself, like, it's the whole place has such a bad reputation. Even a random bunch of adventurers walking across the courtyard, people won't give you a second look, really.
Okay.
Now, that being said, if you want to stealth in so that no one freaking saw you, because you never know who has lookouts, by all means.
I mean, I'm not the quietest, but I am at least trained in stealth, so there's a sort of balance
yeah,
at play.
I'm not stealthy
In the
at all.
tower.
Yeah.
You don't seem
not
to
gonna try
find
to
any
be-
loose floorboards or glass or creaking. Yeah. Right. Stealth in the tower, boys. Why not?
City map, Ryan. It is Kintargo with legend is what we have open.
Sneak. Sneak. It's sneaky time. No?
No, not for the cleric who's wearing full plate with no dexterity.
I was gonna say, like,
stealth.
I thought maybe
No.
you did like some kind of open roll, because it's like, wait a minute, why is he laughing? These are supposed to be tower rolls. How would you know? How would you
No.
know?
That's just no point to me rolling.
I know, but
Okay.
Neros.
Watch everybody else be all sneaky, and there's
Somebody
there comes
rolled a
Niles.
one.
Clunk, 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 clunk.
It wasn't you. Somebody rolled in that
Give me a
one.
second.
It wasn't you.
Oh, look at that! I have nothing. Surprise, surprise. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you did better than most
Then that one, yeah.
on the D20 roll. Going to the bonuses, yeah, you're the worst roll at the end. But
Yeah.
you rolled thievery. I want stealth.
Oh, sorry. Oh, it's the same thing.
Same
Oh,
thing,
is it?
yeah,
Oh,
it's the
okay.
same, Yeah.
I thought maybe it was a different bonus. I thought thievery was intelligence now, because
Depending on training would be the only thing, is if somebody had training in one, not the other. But
Okay.
I do not. So.
All right. Sneak, sneak, sneak. Okay. Up we go. Okay. You guys make it across the courtyard, get to the tower entrance, the doors, covering each other. You guys all slip inside as the sun begins to set. There's just enough ambient light to see without tripping over. But if you wanted to actually, we searched the room, I think you might want to pop a spell or a torchlight, or, you know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Smells.
Dust,
vision.
mildewed, and abandonment. You guys already know that the lower 5
Very
levels
good.
have been gutted, but slowly make your way up. Dun dun dun.
I think
dun,
we
dun.
should go in. Yep.
Okay. Are we looking out for anything in particular besides
Anybody,
actual personnel
you know,
guards?
Yeah. At the moment, have we seen any signs of activity or life around
Okay.
here?
I mean, is
for me,
anybody
smells
trained in
are-
thievery
I'm
at
happy to
all?
give you a perception check, but I just also mean to the level to which is there anybody walking the
I will take perception and survival, actually. When you say any evidence, that I'll take that as including tracks.
Okay, I've given you both.
Okay.
Because we've walked
I am
onto campus and
going
into
to
the middle
see
of
if I can
campus.
see any tripwires or anything like that in our,
Yep.
this is their base. Let's keep an eye
Yep.
open for traps.
You don't seem to find anything, though Glug Glug does find tracks on the stairs, and they seem to be recently used, but the tracks don't seem to go everywhere. It's almost like they slip in, hug a wall, and try to keep the stairs looking dusty. You know what I mean? Which kind of points to the fact that you didn't find a trap or alarm. We really want to make this place look abandoned. No one was here, because you get some kid or dare wander in here and they find or fall over something or whatever, then, somebody's here, which raises interest, right? They've kept this place as immaculately undisturbed as they can, but there is some evidence, Glug Glug, you find of trespass narrowly going up those stairs.
I will relay that to the group, and then I will, assuming that it becomes relevant, I've got experience tracker, which means I can track up to full speed. So I'd like to continue following these tracks or keeping an eye on these tracks as we go up the steps.
Okay, with Al in front of you looking for traps that would slow you unless you want to pass them. Unless Al was only worried about first level.
I mean, I'm not trying to move full speed. So, but what I guess I was using the skill to describe the behavior, which is that as we go up, I will continue trying to maintain and keep an eye on those tracks and note whether or not they stop at a floor or continue to go up at the next floor, that sort of thing.
Okay.
But I won't get ahead of the trap guide.
Okay. With your superior skill, you're managed to keep an eye on the rest of the party's progress and your task. I'm not going to say you're impatiently waiting, but you have enough skill that you, because of the pace they're setting for you, you right. can keep an eye on what's going on around you as well as your task. And up, second level. Up, no disturbance as far as you guys can spot. Third level. Up. Fourth level. Up. Fifth level. No disturbance. And then finally, as you guys head up towards we will see you all next time.